Good day everyone, my name is Roxanne from BSE 3B Mathematics. So for today's video, I'm going to discuss the divisibility rules of 2 to 13. So first, let me discuss what is divisibility rules. What is divisibility rules? Divisibility tests or divisibility rules have been mentioned to make the division procedure easier and quicker. If students learn the division rules in maths or the divisibility test for 1 to 20, they can solve the problems in a better way. So let's now proceed and let's start with the divisibility rule of 2. The divisibility rule of 2 states that any number with the last digits of 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 will be divisible by 2. Simply put, any even number is divisible by 2. If the number is not even number, it is not divisible by 2. So let's have an example. 508 is an even number and is divisible by 2. But 509 is not an even number, hence it is not divisible by 2. So the procedure to check whether 508 is divisible by 2 or not is as follows. So first, consider the number 508. Just take the last digit 8 and divide it by 2. If the last digit 8 is divisible by 2, then the number 508 is also divisible by 2. So next, divisibility rule of 3. Divisibility rule for 3 states that a number is completely divisible by 3 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. The divisibility rule of 3 states that if the sum of the digits of a whole number is a multiple of 3, then the original number is also divisible by 3. With the help of the multiplication table 3, or by using skip counting by 3, starting 0 and adding 3, so let's have an example. The number 495 is exactly divisible by 3. Why? Because the sum of all digits are 4 plus 9 plus 5 is equal to 18. And 18 is exactly divided by 3. So let's proceed to divisibility rule of 4. If the last two digits of a number are divisible by 4, then that number is a multiple of 4 and is divisible by 4 completely. There are 25 numbers between 0 and 100 that are divisible by 4. So, for example, take the number 2,308. Consider the last two digits as 0 and 8. As 08 is divisible by 4, the original number 2,308 is also divisible by 4. So next, divisibility rule of 5. The divisibility rule of 5 states that if the digit on the units place, that is, the last digit of a given number is 5, or 0, then such a number is divisible by 5. For example, divisibility by 5 is easily determined by checking the last digit in the number, such as 475, and seeing if it is either 0 or 5. If the last number is either 0 or 5, the entire number is divisible by 5. If the last digit in the number is 0, then the result will be the remaining digits multiplied by 2. 475, the last number is 5, so it is divisible by 5. Next is divisibility rule of 6. The divisibility rule of 6 states that the number should be divisible by 2 and 3 both. The divisibility rule of 6 is the same of all number whether it is a smaller number or a large number. A large number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by the numbers 2 and 3 both. Next, divisibility rule of 7. The rule for divisibility by 7 is a bit complicated, which can be understood by the steps. So next, divisibility rule of 8. The divisibility rule for 8 states that if the last 3 digits of a given number are zeros, if the number formed by the last 3 digits is divisible by 8, then such a number is divisible by 8. So next, the divisibility rule of 9. The rule for divisibility by 9 is similar to divisibility rule for 3. That is, if the sum of digits of the number is divisible by 9, then the number itself is divisible by 9. So, for example, consider 78,532 as the sum of its digits is 7 plus 8 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 is 25, which is not divisible by 9. Hence, 78532 is not divisible by 9. So next, divisibility rule of 10. Divisibility rule for 10 states that any number whose digit is 0 is divisible by 10. So for example, 10, 20, 30, 1,000, 5,000, 60,000, and etc. Just remember that any number whose digit is 0 is always divisible by 10. So next is divisibility rule of 11. If the difference of the sum of alternative digits of a number is divisible by 11, then that number is divisible by 11 completely. In order to check whether a number like 2143 is divisible by 11, below is the following procedure. So they are explained here with the help of examples. So for example, if the number of digits of a number is even, then add the first digit and subtract the last digit, the rest of the number. So for example, the number is 3784. Number of digits is equal to 4. Now, 78 plus 3 minus 4 is equal to 77. And it is equal to 7 times 11. Thus, the number 3784 is divisible by 11. Next, the divisibility rule of 12. A number is divisible by 12 if it is divisible by both 3 and 4. In other words, all numbers divisible by 3 and 4 are divisible by 12. So for example, the numbers 5,864. Sum of the digits are 23 since 5 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4 is 23 and not a multiple of 3. Last two digits is 64 divisible by 4. Then the given number 5,846 is divisible by 4 but not by 3, hence it is not divisible by 12. So for the last is divisibility rule of 13. For any given number, to check if it is divisible by 13, we have to add 4 times of the last digit of the number, the remaining number, and repeat the process until we get a 2-digit number. Now, check if the 2-digit number is divisible by 13 or not. If it is divisible, then the given number is divisible by 13. So for example, the number is 2,795. It is equal to 279 plus the quantity of 5 times 4. So therefore, 279 plus 20 is equal to 299. So it is equal to 29 plus 9 plus the quantity of 9 times 4. So 29 plus 36. And it is equal to 65. So number 65 is divisible by 13 since 13 times 5 is equal to 65. So that will be all for the divisibility rules of 2 to 13. Thank you and God bless.